Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. So we are in the last part of the first unit, ethics and human interface. So in this lecture we'll be dealing with the human values and role of family, society and educational institutes in inculcating the values. Let's look in the topic one by one. Starting from values, what are values? So, values are nothing but basic and fundamental beliefs which guide or motivate attitudes or actions. See, values on its part help us in determining what is important to us. For some, following the honesty might be important. On the other hand, someone might not be honest just to avoid other people getting sad. So, this values help us to determine what is important to us. They help in guiding the judgment and behavior of a person or group and help one decide what is right and wrong. So it guides the judgment of a person and behavior of a person or even a group and help one decide what is right and wrong. It literally brings in different aspects into the play to decide what is right and what is wrong. So now let us look into the characteristics of values. Relatively permanent and resistant to change. See, values, what happens is when they are formed through a particular belief or attitude, it becomes a part of a person's outlook and it's very difficult to change. It does not change so easily. So that is something, values are relatively permanent and or resistant to change. See, for example, laws have been enacted to curtail dowry. So, but still, several sections of society believe in the concept of dowry because their value system is with respect to the position of women in society has not changed. That is something values bring in. It might be right or wrong, but still it is being followed. Next is two attributes, content and intensity. See, the content attribute stresses on a particular code of conduct which is important, while the intensity attribute specifies how important that particulars of code of conduct is. Like let's take the example of Mr. Ashok Kimka. Here, content attribute provides that integrity and honesty which is important for him, while the intensity attribute provides him that it is so important that he will stick even if some personal problems occur to him in form of frequent transfers. So hope you guys understood the difference between content and intensity. Content provides the integrity and honesty which is important to him, and the intensity provides the importance that he will stick even if frequent personal problems occurs. Next is universality. See, some values are subjective. There are some values that are shared by most societies, such as honesty, fairness, and respect. These are universal values. Now, let us go into the importance of values. See, it guides human behavior. See, values, they always serve as a principle and fundamental convictions that serve as a guide to the behavior of human. They help us in deciding what is good and wrong, who is good and who is right, who is wrong. Everything it helps us to do that. Eventually, it helps us in to turn into good behavior. Promotes peace and stability. See, human values help in managing the human relations, and it also works as a tool for peace when the tensions are high. The values enable the concept of living in harmony and contributing towards the peace. That is something values does. Helps differentiating between right and wrong. See, all values have effective, cognitive, and directional aspects, which helps us in guiding what is wrong and what is right. So it will make sure that we don't go into the wrong path and get into problems, and helps us in moving towards the right path and reaching a better part in life. Next is sources of values. Yeah, family, culture, religion, education, personal experience, the constitution, peers and friends, everything can be said as sources. So family, it's the primary source of values for many people. Like a child learns the values, basics of values from the family, from the place where he or she grows in it. And family members shape the individual's value through their teachings, behavior, etc. So children often adopt the value of their parents, which also include the cultural and religious values. Next is culture and religion. Culture and religion play a significant role in shaping values. So like culture values are transmitted through language, customs, traditions, while religious values are derived from different religious texts, different religious practices and teachings, which provide a moral compass for individuals and shape their behavior. Next is education. Education is one important source of value. Like schools and universities will promote values such as honesty, hard work, integrity. So education can also expose individuals to different culture, ideas, perspectives, which help in the or lead to the formation of new values as such. Peers and friends. So peers and friends again can influence values. Adolescents, that's the teenage part, in particular may adopt the values of their peers and they seek to fit in and get accepted. Peer pressure can always be both negative and positive. Like you can even adapt positive values from them and you can even adapt negative values from them. It depends on how close you get with them. Next is constitution. See, constitutions are source of values in society. See, they outline the basic fundamentals, principles, and reflect the beliefs such as the individual rights, separation of powers, rule of law, democratic values, and national identity. By upholding and promoting such values, constitutions serve as a guiding document for governance and shaping society. Next is the personal experience. Like personal experience such as success or failures can shape values. Like when you get the feeling of injustice, discrimination or hardship, it might lead to the adoption of values such as empathy, fairness. Like when you have faced the injustice or discrimination during your part of life, you might eventually feel that okay, you should not treat other people like that. How you be on how you being treated, how you are treated. So you eventually develop compassion, empathy, and fairness. So this is something values develop from. Next, let us deal with the role of family in inculcating the values. The family and kinship relations play a very vital role in shaping the individual and social ethics of a region. The family is considered as the first school of a child, and hence the things the child see, hears, or does in the family stays in the subconscious mind of the child. So actually, as George Matthew Adams says, there is nothing called a self-made man. We are all made up of thousands of others. That is something family brings in it. So the first school of value learning for children. See, values obtained from parents through cultural process, particularly from parents to children, shows the process of socialization in the society. So that plants the basic value for the child in inculcating the values. Next is provides emotional support. See, the family provides him with the emotional support, care, and counseling he or she needs to get him or her out of such negative thoughts. Like a child, a teenager, a working adult, whoever it might always be. It doesn't mean that the person always is in positive mood, and sometimes negative thoughts also come into the play. The family, as together, brings out and provides the emotional support which that person needs. Next is acceptable behavior. The behavior showcased by the family members and accepted in the family is slowly inculcated in the child. Like what the father or mother does, the child inculcates the same in his behavior. That is something child inculcates solely. Example you can say here is when a child sees family members shouting at each other, he considers it to be acceptable. However, if he sees his elder sibling being punished or for shouting, he realizes it is not acceptable behavior. That's how children learn. Role models. Like parents serve as the role models not only through direct interaction with their children but through examples they set like their attitude and behavior within the family and also outside the family. Like for example, if parents are conscious about the cleanliness on both private and public property, their children will be as well considerate conscious about the cleanliness. So that is something the parents play a major role in it. Next is the role of society in inculcating the values. The society is nothing but a place where one grows up, also impacts various ethics and morals to the individual. Such ethics may also be general or unique to a particular society. Like a society has many values, but some values might be unique to some specific societies, which cannot be found in any other societies. Certain points are tradition and custom. Social practices are sincerely followed by people, like which passes on values from different generation to generation. Like example, you can say is it is a common Indian social ethic where we remove shoes when we enter someone's house. How did we learn that we should remove our shoes when we enter someone's house or your own house? It was taught from generation to generation as tradition and custom, a social practice. So that's how we got that point. Next is laws. See, ethics can also be sourced from legal, rational texts such as judicial covenants, laws, and the constitution. Example, you can say it as environmental ethics in the Indian constitution, where Article 48A of the DPSP says that to protect and improve the environment and to safeguard the forests and wildlife of the country. Laws provide a major role in the law is a part of society which provides or which moves in the values of inculcating the values in an individual. Next is religion. Every religion has a set of code of conduct prescribed to its practitioners, and thus religion is also source of ethics. Example, we can say as the Taittiriya Upanishad, which prescribes the doctrine of Ati Devo Bhava, which translates to treating all guests as God. So another thing is transmission of culture through society. See, man exists in a society in order to grow mentally and intellectually. Society protects and transmits our culture to future generation. Like I can say is the worship of people tree and the sacred Ganges river. This is something the society transfers the culture from one generation to another. See, so and in case of diverse country like India, values of society are very important, which often create importance which often enhance the mind of people in the mind of people, like it shows the importance in the mind of people. However, societies have both acceptable and unacceptable values, and sometimes individuals are prone to the unacceptable ones as well. However, despite all this, the role of society in developing and inculcating values is very, very important. Next is the role of educational institution. The value education has the national capacity to transform a diseased mind, that is a weak mind or with no values or really limited values, to a very young, fresh, innocent, healthy, natural, and attentive mind. Like as natural education policy says, education is the most effective tool for instilling values in children. So during the younger part of a child's life, he or she learns much, which is very important again. Um, so, um, so curiosity about sciences, it leads to a question about religion, orthodoxy, and practices. Like in the early Enlightenment stage, people started questioning the church during in the Europe, which made which weakened the church, and new scientific inventions came into existence. That is something the curiosity of science does. It questions about the religious orthodoxy and bad practices. Curriculum. The school curriculum not only helps teaching the science and maths but also moral values like preamble in the NCRT books. This is something which can be taught. Next is value of sportsmanship. See, and team spirit. Like when you play sports, like the opportunity to pass in numerous sports comes in the young age. So when you play a team sport, eventually you have to cooperate with your other teammates as well, which develops a team spirit. Peers. Since school have children from different caste, community, religion, socio-economic background, it acts as a diverse ground as against the community found in the family. So it teaches the students how to be tolerant, respectful, sharing, and inspired during lunch breaks. Like we all know that children not only share, uh, they share the varied kind of dishes, which is usually done during the lunch breaks. This is something the diversity of India brings in, and which plays a major role. So this shows that educational institution continue to be one first formal place of socialization. So this is something which must be taken into consider, and value education must be provided at better cost. So hope you guys understood today's concept of human values and role of family, society, and educational institution inculcating values. Like we are done with the ethics and human interface part. However, there's one more topic which we'll be dealing with, the contribution of moral thinkers again during the next lecture. So do like, share, subscribe to the channel and the video. Comment your doubts and we'll reply and clear your doubts as soon as possible. Thank you. We'll come back with another topic again. Thank you.